Hi friends, so welcome to my channel. My name is Grisel with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another pick a card for you or with you, however you want to view it. You probably have already chosen your piles. I want to go ahead and put some intention in here, but we are choosing again from pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. We are going to be doing the fire portion of this reading. Who knows why we're calling it that? But we're going to get some incense and some intention, okay? For those of you that are repeat offenders, I want to extend a super warm welcome. Thank you for stopping in once again. And for those of you new to my channel, thank you so much for coming by. Hope that everyone receives exactly what it is that you are seeking. Little sagey sage, little frankincense and myrrh. And we're ready to go. Scooch this to the side. And pile number 1. Obviously, we're going to be starting with you. So pile number 1, you chose the bird cage and the parrot. I believe that's a parrot. So let's see, and this is kind of a whatever spirit has to say. I guess we should shuffle that way. Show me what I need to see for pile number 1, those that chose a bird cage. Spirit, we're asking for concise messages. I'm seeing a bat in my mind's eye. I don't know why. And a dandelion. The little flower that you kind of blow and it has seeds and it spreads everywhere. You make a wish. Show me what I need to see for pile number 1, or those that chose the bird cage. And show me now. Trust and transmute. Okay. Interesting, because with the wish, you know, the vision that I had shortly before I pulled that, it's exactly what I was kind of feeling, that there's a specific wish or desire that you have. And there's a need to transmute some energy. I guess I should keep the stands the same to make them look the same, right? Anyhow, yeah, that happened. So there might be something that needs a little bit of a transformational, or it needs a little bit of a facelift, perhaps. Maybe you have a dream that hasn't quite manifested, a desire that hasn't manifested, and maybe even perhaps you're feeling caged. Now, if we observe this cage right here, you know, the little door is open. You have the little parrot or whatever this bird is right here kind of perched. So it's not exactly cage bound. So I feel like maybe you may have had a little bit of success with whatever this is that you desire to manifest with this wish. And yet it needs to be transmuted. It needs to have a different kind of energy to be brought about. I kind of feel like I want to bring the smoke into this right here, because all of a sudden it's burning in a different manner. I feel like you have done maybe some meditation, a little bit of praying about things, if that is your thing. I'm feeling the letter S, the letter C. And I feel like it's almost like literally we're watching smoke, correct? We're watching smoke rising, but I feel like up in smoke, a little bit of like the Smokey and the Bandit, old school movies, if you know, you know. But also feeling like whatever it is that I desire, that I get a little bit of success, with the parrot being away from the cage marginally, but really still being cage bound, because it's like the dream hasn't taken off. It hasn't kind of really gone anywhere. Okay. Not the way that you want it to go. So again, marginal success. You feel a little bit perhaps even defeated, that things aren't going quite the way that you want. maybe perhaps doing some crystal work or setting up a crystal grid with intention on what it is that you want to have develop as far as your wish goes. What you're trying to manifest might help you. Okay. So a little bit of, yeah, there's a lack of trust. Okay, so when you're setting out your intention and things, it's really important, Chriselle, to really trust that this is just going to manifest. Okay, it's going to manifest. It's great to lay intention however you want, but I would say that adding your intention, like I really want success in my business, and maybe you opened up a clothing line, clothing store, resale store, or an Etsy shop, whatever. Or maybe perhaps you're making jewelry, or, you know, holistic medicine, whatever your deal is. And maybe when you set up the intention, picture yourself having a lot of customers and setting those intentions out there, and how each and every one of them feels taken care of, feels happy, feels like they want to return, and is excited and satisfied with whatever it is that they're purchasing, your products. Even picture products like flying off the shelves. Having a, you know, like being in high demand, like it's almost difficult or challenging to keep in stock if that's what you want. But add, you know, at the very end of your intention, like, you know, this is my intention, or better. And that allows for the universe to fill those gaps. We don't like narrow things down so much that we want, you know, that painting exactly, or that tattoo exactly, or, you know, that husband exactly, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. Interesting. So I happen to look down, and bottom of the deck I have love. So whatever it is that you love, I feel like whatever it is that you have a passion for. And right here I almost see like the Sacred Heart. It is, you know, a burning heart. So something that you've had a long desire, a long affinity for. Is that how you even would say that? A long affinity sounds kind of weird to me, but you get my gist, okay? So this is not something that you just thought of like yesterday, for example, and you're like, oh, let me, you know, contrive this. This is something that maybe perhaps you've been working at it for quite some time, and you've had like a lot of energy towards. Now we want to find out what needs to be transmuted. What do we have to transmute here? And today I'll be using, and by the way, these are the Threads of Fate, okay? Threads of Fate deck. Very, very beautiful. And then I'll be using this other little deck. It's kind of like the vice versa, but it's totally not. It's called the Tarot of Opposition. So it is one of those that, you know, it's well, you'll see. Anyways, so let's find out a little bit about pile number 1, the transmute. What needs to be transmuted? I have not shuffled like that in literally probably 10, 15 years. Maybe longer. Oh, good grief. There's a reason why these are so stiff. Okay. Never mind. Show me what I need to see. For pile number 1, those that chose a birdcage, what needs to be transmuted, and where are these cards on the board here? Some information, please. I feel like how you look at things needs to be changed and transmuted. And show me now. The 5 of Wands. I feel like it's a battle to keep the vision going, to keep the vision. Well, this guy's kind of smirking and smiling, and the other one's kind of smirking and smiling as well. This seems to be a little bit more of a friendly competition, but maybe it's like what needs to be transmuted is looking at it as simply like it's just a hobby, or it's not going to happen, or I just kind of do it when it's fun and I don't do it when it's not fun, because it's not the great battle here, which is good, right? So maybe just understanding that if you set intention, that you're like dedicated, okay? Because I'm also noticing the bee. I think it's a bee. And it's really important for you to focus and to keep at it, whatever it is, that you're diligent and that you have a vision. You continue with that consistency, the vision of having this thing, whatever this thing is. It could be love, actually, manifesting love and having a vision towards it, but you're also going to have to be working towards it. So transmuting the energy of how you see love, or how you see your business, how you see your dream, and trust that it is going to manifest. there could be something, for example, like if you're trying to manifest love, it could be that maybe both of you are drawn to crystals, or crystal grids, or you are very similar in a lot of ways. So let's see what else needs to be done. The amount of work has to be transmuted here to the point where it's not simply like just for fun or for laughs or giggles or whatever, but that you have a purpose and a methodology behind it. Hope I said that right. But basically be really systematic, be very strategic about how you're laying things out, and that will help you. Okay, yeah, justice. So you want everything to be fair and equitable and balanced. And even though, let's see if we can use our real expensive pointer here. Even though this appears to be some kind of a thing on a wall, who knows what that is? It looks like an exclamation mark. Bleh. Okay, so you want things balanced, and you're going to cut out everything that is not balanced. So whatever throws you off, whatever makes you feel some type of way, and that could include your own thoughts, your own ideas, your own how you see things. Okay, maybe you need to cut those off. Maybe you even need to open up to a broader audience, a broader perspective. If you're dating or trying to find love, then you need to get out of your cage, get out of your home, and actually open yourself up. Okay, I meant to take one, but we have two. Okay, the Ten of Wands right here with the trust. The Ten of Wands, you know, trust has been really lacking in your life. And so, and I know that comes across as like, ooh, you're lacking this. But no, you've had reason not to trust. And I feel like when you have trusted, maybe you've trusted the wrong people, the wrong scenarios, or placed your energy in places that was not beneficial. Maybe you fell flat on your face, or there is a fear of falling flat on your face if you do trust. But this, my friend, is the time to trust, because you're trusting in a vision, your vision. Yeah, look, with work, I feel like this has to do with work, yes. So it is a time to trust. It is a time that you're not going to fall flat on your face. Don't compare like whatever this project is. If you're developing like a new website or an app or business of whatever kind, keep in mind that, yeah, it's steady work. You're going to have to continue toiling into the night. Sometimes, especially if you're an entrepreneur, that's just simply how it is, okay? Now, with the quill, I'm getting vibes of like perhaps you're somebody who is a creative. Look at all these like little paintbrushes and things like that. But you're trying to perfect things, and you're trying to polish things and trying to present them to where they're really nice and polished aesthetically, that they are uniform, that they make sense, that they come across in a certain manner. Or branding. I heard branding. Some of you guys are focused on how to brand things in a certain way that is conducive to what it is that you want to present. Even branding yourself, right? We all have to sell ourselves in one way or another. What else do we need? What about this Five of Wands here that's transmuting energy? Yeah, go back to what gives you joy. Go back to what gives you peace, what makes you feel innocent, something about the past and the way you used to do things. And what I'm being led for, even though I pulled it from here, what needs to transmute is this. Go back to the way you used to be, the way you used to trust, the way you used to look at the world, the way that once upon a time you wanted to fly out of this bird cage and you wanted to live and you wanted to grow and experience things, and you had trust in the world and trust in people. And maybe perhaps it was a time where you felt like you were really connected to Mother Earth. I heard Pachamama. I think that's how you say it. But just a connection overall and an ease in things before you really had the blows of life kind of take their toll on your belief system, on your trust, and things like that. And I think it's going to be very, very, very important for you at this point in time to kind of, you know, work on transmuting that. And don't fear falling on your face. Don't we all fall on our faces? And wasn't, you know, my favorite analogy to that or example to that would be Coke was invented quite by accident. And so was Teflon, and the t-shirt was something that was not to be expected to be such a big deal the way it is today. So this energy needs to be transmuted in order for you to have clarity, in order for you to have balance, and also to be able to put that love behind whatever it is that you're doing. Because I feel like there's an element of fear, an element of like, let's look at this real quick, because this seems to be kind of a big deal here. This lack of trust. In the back of your mind, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're waiting, for, it's almost like people are waiting for you to fall flat on your face. And, people are just people. They're gonna do that. And the more you just focus on your journey and what you're doing, the less you're going to be interested in what people think about your journey. And if you trip and fall, well, so have they. And the fact that people are just focused on your journey and not focused on their own just says a lot. The fact that they don't have their own journey to focus on, perhaps. They're overly focused or invested on what you're doing. Or perhaps you simply just think that other people are, kind of wishing and hoping for a downfall. And they're simply not even focused on you. They're focused on their own journey. But regardless, this has to really transmute in order for you to regain balance. It's going to be all about balance. Utilize your intellectual prowess at this point in time in order to manifest what it is that you want. I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of these cards right here, and then we're going to wrap it up. This is a Kipper. Y'all probably know that. Show me what I need to see. How can we help pile number 1 to manifest whatever it is that they're working on? And show me now. Let's get 3. Why not? Because we can. House. Okay. Maybe some of you guys are trying to manifest a house, a home. Maybe it starts with the home. It's interesting that the imagery to me feels very parallel. It's very symbiotic. I don't know. It's very close to this. I heard jailbird. Okay. To this bird cage anyways. So maybe you guys are feeling confined, restricted. Maybe there are restrictions. Maybe perhaps somebody is in jail. Maybe you're developing a program for the jail system, the judicial system. Everybody's going to be different. The number 2 is about balance, personal power. Okay, and journey. Yeah, this is a part of your journey. So maybe some of you guys need to journey back home, back to where you used to live, or to a feeling. Journeying back to the home, metaphorically, your own home of where you felt safe, where you felt you can trust, where you felt like, you know what? I feel like, for me anyways, trust comes from trusting myself more than trusting other people. It's trusting myself to know that if something is off, I'm going to follow my intuition about that. I'm going to trust my intuition more than I'm going to trust pretty much anything else at this point. And so it is a good time for you to trust in yourself, to believe in yourself, and to trust your journey. Okay, your journey is going to look different. It's going to smell different. It's going to taste different than anyone else's. Woo woo. And community. So this is about having people that are supportive, that are understanding, your community of choice. I'm looking at this little boy. He's holding like a hula hoop, and I love that because I feel like it's like full circle. I also feel like these represent your ancestors. I feel like you have, I heard apoyo, that means like support in Spanish. You have ancestral help from the other side as well, and you have a lot of light. You also have a community of supporters that aren't really visible. Maybe people aren't like literally saying, hey, pile number 1, I support you, or I'm behind you, but they are supportive. And I feel like even these people would be surprised that you would need to hear that verbalization of it. Also, something about flowers might really be something to help you feel a little bit more optimistic about things. But knowing that you have your ancestors supporting you in the afterlife, as well as currently people in the 3D supporting you, okay? And something about your roots. So getting back to your roots, whatever this is, okay? The number 39, 3 is cooperation. It is, I feel like it's about loyalty. It's about throwing your lot together. It's about energetic support. mental, emotional support. And the number 9 is approaching like the end of a cycle. Okay, so maybe it's saying that the end of a cycle is that you're able to trust, you're able to open up your eyes, transmute this energy, and see that you have this trust and support and the loyalty of a community behind you, that this journey has been long and lengthy, but you have everything currently. You have everything that it takes in order to complete this journey. You're well packed, I want to say. Woo, Griselle, watch it. Okay, so I'm like, somebody's well endowed, because that's kind of like what I got from that, but whatever, this has nothing to do with that as far as I know. Anyways, but you've got your own like baggage and your own stuff to be able to take this journey, and part of that is going to be really what helps your situation to evolve, to unfold, and to be accepted among your community and the masses. So I feel like maybe even perhaps sharing your own personal journey is going to be important into the situation. Now, I know a lot of us with trust issues, right, have a desire for privacy, a need, and maybe perhaps even obsessiveness about privacy. I, for one, can completely relate to that. But I feel like in order for this journey to be complete, I feel like there's a need to be a little bit more open, a little bit more transparent, or just sharing your journey with other people. And I really struggle with that. I feel like I'm very tempered in what I share. And sometimes, you know, I'll kind of overshare in other things that don't super matter. But I feel very private and protective about my own personal journey because it's my life, right? So you might have some elements of that in your life as well. But again, I feel like, you know, the number 10 right here, I feel like cycles are completing and you're very close to achieving what it is that you want. I feel like, you know, with the 20, obviously, it's the 10 twice. Okay, then we have the 10 here. We have a near 10 right here. And I feel like you're just super close to your goal. It's like you just can't really see it. Continue doing what it is that you love and continue like transmuting what it is that you desire for yourself and what that looks like, and allowing things to kind of unfold naturally. So I feel like that is the answer, is sharing your journey more than perhaps you ever have. Sharing your journey with your community, things like that is going to give you the stability and the ability to even open up more and trust and your own personal journey and the outcome of this. So pile number 1, that is what I have for you. If you enjoy this kind of reading, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you have not clicked off already, get this. This is your final card, I promise. Okay, unexpected income. What? So some of you guys are going to come into your coinage right here. And it's really awesome. So if this is indeed a business, then know that it's going to actually manifest some fruit that you were not expecting, or it's going to come about faster than what you anticipated. And I feel like even people of high honor or people that are well-to-do have that have the ability, or even this could be like a married person, can come and actually support your business in some way, shape, or form. Okay, but I feel like there's a financial exchange, an exchange of goods, something like that. And even this feels like the house behind this. And so that is what I have for you. Much love to you, and until next time, namaste. Hi, pal two. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. If you chose this cute little chandelier, I'm getting Rihanna vibes all of a sudden. But the song that's coming to mind is Under My Umbrella, which is interesting because that's not at all the chandelier song. Anyways, if you chose pile number 2 or the chandelier, this message is for you. For those of you that are repeat offenders, I want to extend a super warm welcome to you. And for those of you brand new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping in. Now, I did already get a jumper for you, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And your jumper card, oh my gosh, I got 2 of them. Okay. The Sovereign. And I have Ancestors. And how are we not taking this? Yeah, baby. I love the Ancestors card. Okay, now this card, when it came out reversed. So in that case, we're going to be reading in the book in just a moment. Didn't even get a chance to shuffle here. I'm feeling like maybe some of you guys are feeling a little bit anxious. And I just split the deck, bottom of the deck. Hello. Hello again. Okay, sorry. Higher perspective. Maybe the perspective of your ancestors. So you got a chandelier. And maybe this could be lighting. This could be, well, let's just see what this Threads of Fate has to tell us. Did I not have the book up here? Hello, hello again. Oh, for goodness graciousness. Here we go. Is there a number? Nope. Nope. That would make it too easy, right? One moment, please. So sorry, guys. Here we go. If you're still with me, the Sovereign card invites us to activate the leader, visionary, and enthusiast within us. It is time to welcome in passion and fire while creating structure that allows you to nurture your dreams. Okay, this creates a container which allows for growth within themselves and others. They approach situations with a no bullshit attitude and may come across as harsh to some people. Their strong boundaries and opinions may even be intimidating to others. But in reality, it is their way of nurturing. They have no interest in appeasing others simply to keep them comfortable. They'll continue to push those around them so that they can grow. The Sovereign also calls us to create structure. From a place of structure, the Sovereign knows that life runs smoothly, allowing the manifestation of true success, security, and happiness. Where in your life do you continually find chaos? Where are your energy and resources getting sapped? The Sovereign invites you to examine those situations practically and cut out what is no longer serving you. So this could be overspending, this could be overthinking, this could be burning the midnight oil and coming up with so many ideas that you choose none of them. Okay? This is not a time for being sentimental or nostalgic. The Sovereign is realistic about what is needed and gets it done, knowing that it makes room for true peace. The balance of Sovereign is a leader that belongs only to themselves. They're in service of others by choice, and their method of leading is empowering others. And I'm being led here, it just looks to me like a crown. And so maybe you just don't see that you have the ability to be able to do this. And I feel like for some of you guys, there is a desire to empower other people. And maybe you're misunderstood because of, you know, again, just how the booklet talked about, you know, coming across as maybe harsh or like factual and things like that. So we're going to find out a little bit more about what the ancestors have to say, because I feel like you do have a higher perspective. You are a visionary, you are a seer, and you could see things in ways that nobody else sees them. I feel like you have a divine connection to the ancestors, and I feel like you, this to me feels like energy. I feel like you could have a lot of energy, but most importantly, I feel like you feel a lot of energy. I'm even feeling it on my crown chakra. So perhaps some of you guys are feeling, some people call it like the tingles or something on your, you know, on your body, which lets you know that the ancestors or spirit is trying to communicate or confirm whatever it is that you're thinking, feeling, or seeing. So some of you guys are sensitive. Earthing can be very important. Having your feet planted into Mother Earth, just barefoot, is going to be really important. I know that, you know, seasons change, and sometimes if it's, you're in a climate where it snows, or if it's super cold, or if you're in a desert and there's absolutely no grass and things like that, but connecting to whatever part of Mother Earth is available to you is going to be very important. And doing this, I feel like in the morning especially, can really help to set the tone, to nurture your clear doubts in your mind, whatever it is that is standing in your way. I feel like those things could be really, really beneficial at this point in time. And with all of this illumination, I mean, don't candelabras, that's not candelabra, chandeliers, Grisel, provide light and provide ambience, okay? and provide things to look at. And even actually, you could be somebody who is into candle magic or gazing into candles, and getting messages like that, entering a trance-like state. So any of those things would actually be applicable. And you know, this is neither here nor there, but I think maybe some of you guys don't shave your legs, because I'm seeing this is like almost like leg hair, which is kind of funny. And you know, male, female, I do know men who shave their legs for, I don't know, it is rumored faster performance or something like that, but whatever. So maybe some of you guys do not, or you are in a region where that's just not done. Others of you actually recognize that your hair is an extension of you, and it is an antenna. You might have like really beautiful hair. I heard the word audacious, so maybe you have like some different hair, like what they call fashion hair, mod hair, whatever the case may be, with different fantastic colors and things like that. But that could set you apart from other people. I'm going to say that, you know, it might be a good idea, if you feel led and if this resonates, for you to really cover your hair for a while, because you know that your hair being a spiritual extension, it's like a receptor. It's like an antenna to old school radio and things like that. So if those of you that are really resonating with the ancestry story, and rely on your ancestors to bring you messages and illumination, really might benefit from covering your hair at this point in time. And you know, if you feel like that resonates, and take the message. If not, it's entirely up to you. And what capacity of covering your hair, well, that would be entirely up to you. I do know, you know, some people actually cover their head everywhere they go as a form of self-protection. And other people simply do it only for nighttime or for certain situations that they are around. Another thing I'm getting, it would be great if you could actually, some of you guys are like naked babies. You like to walk around the house naked. That's, you know, whatever thing is your thing. But to allow even the sunlight to touch your skin would be a great idea. Now, I'm not saying go outside. If you live in an apartment, everybody can see you and get arrested. That's not on me, okay? But use that to your benefit as you see fit, or not, okay? I do feel like also, I keep hearing healer, energy healer with your palms extended. So I feel like you're a visionary. You are seeing things, and just know that you are sovereign, that you have a higher perspective. I'm even looking at an eyeball right here, and that gives you wings. I feel like you have a great vision for people, and you can see things coming from miles and miles away. And part of that is a gift that's given from your ancestors directly to you. I feel like that is part of your DNA also. And I feel like if you even go outside, and once again with the sun, I'm all about like working with the sun and allow the sun to really, I guess, bless your hands is what I keep hearing, is for allowing the sun. Yeah, I'm feeling like energy in the palm of my hands, because I have my hands actually lifted up, and I'm feeling like energy. You could totally feel energy. So if you're kind of, when in doubt, give it a shot. Go outside and just put your palms up and close your eyes. If you feel something, great. If you don't, that's great too. So but some of you guys can get energized, get downloads through that method as well. Also, I am hearing that a lot of you guys are spirit-led and spirit-taught. So however you perceive that to be, this could be like working with your ancestors. And I'm hearing whispers, like your ancestors actually come to you at night and whisper in your ear, because you're not really super open to, you're not in the same frequency when you're awake. You're a lot more guarded. You're a lot more kind of like not paying attention, or many of us are distracted, honestly. So the less distractions that you can place in your life is going to be better, of course. And maybe having periods of time where you designate, you know, from 2 to 4, absolutely no phone, or, you know, if that's something practical, or even days of the week when you do certain like rituals, setting kind of a standard and doing things in a certain way to help you kind of gain control over that chaos. And I feel like that chaos can be EMF as well. For some of you guys, if you know what I'm talking about, you know. For those of you that don't know, I'm getting a headache. Drink more water, please. And EMF radiation is a real thing, even though people try to convince us that, you know, the amounts that our phones emit and everything else that we have in the house emits, and never mind the 5G and all of that, that it's so low that it makes zero impact on your body. I don't believe it whatsoever. You know, everything has an impact on our bodies and our psyches. And I feel like you could be sensitive. Some of you guys are really developing even more sensitivity to foods, to dyes. I'm hearing even to clothing. Some of you guys are starting to kind of itch with certain clothing, and it's the type of fabric. Synthetic fabric is just not going to be working for you any longer. Some of you guys are getting into gardening or have a close, you resonate closely with plants and things like that. Yeah, but with a higher perspective, I feel like most of all, it's auditory. You're going to be hearing a lot of different things, and you have that ability to see things and to share with people what it is that you actually see for their benefit. So, there, yeah. Okay, so we're going to be using this deck. I tried to shuffle it, but that didn't work well. Show me what I need to see for pile number 2. That shows the candelabra, and show me now. 3 of Swords. That is not the 3. That is 7, Griselle. Okay. 7 of Swords. But maybe there's an element. So 7 of Swords is about being the lone wolf, doing things yourself. And that, because I noticed, I thought it was the 3 of Swords. I feel like that could have brought you a lot of like heartache. That could be a constant angst or an issue in your life, that you feel like you do everything by yourself, that you're not understood. Or that you feel like you are constantly having to do things on your own. This is going to apply to, you know, 1 or 2 of you, but maybe some of you guys are cutters or were cutters. And I guess that's where I'm inclined to share my history. I had, you know, a history of cutting as well. So if that is your story, then this is a confirmation that this reading is for you. But just know that, you know, there are better ways to feel better. You definitely don't have to resort to self-injury and self-harm. So I hope that that's not a thing for you. Obviously, get professional help if you can. Somebody who could really assist you with that. We've got the Page of Cups under the Ancestors. And I feel like this is somebody, I feel like you're newly opening to ancestors in the possibility. You're like, well, I'm not really sure, but we'll just see. And I think that's a great attitude and great mindset to have. I feel like when you do have things come up on your mind, I feel like you want to verify. And again, I'm feeling like drinking a lot of water. I feel like you guys are sadly lacking in water. Your water intake is not good, and your body is not performing the way it needs to because of the lack of water. And we've got the Empress right here, right underneath the higher perspective. And so interesting, I feel like she's even holding a magnifying glass. The Empress, as we know, is all about abundance, but feels like, you know, maybe it's like winter where you're at, depending on what time of the year you're watching this, or when you're watching it, and where, what part of the hemisphere, all that fun stuff. But maybe perhaps there's things that need to be cleared out, like shrubbery, or you're focused on fire safety, fire hazards, and things like that. I'm looking at even this stone that she's got right here. So it could be some heartache associated. I feel like you're healing, and there's a magnifying glass with, I don't know if that's a falcon or an eagle. Honestly, I don't know my birds, but this bird is like, hey lady, look up, because I'm about to peg your magnifying glass, if that's what that is, okay? So the Empress is about your abundance. So you're getting a higher perspective about, I feel like maybe even other people's abundance, or you're thinking that's what it is. Your thinking is impaired because you're not you're not drinking enough water and cleansing your body of toxins. And so you could be feeling like heavy or headachy or not good. And for those of you that take medication, things like that, it's going to be especially important. In fact, it's important for all of us to drink water. I have been really off of my water game as of late. And yeah, you know, close to a gallon of water a day was what I was consuming. And now it is radically, I don't even know if I'm drinking a liter of water any longer. And that's not good. You may have a connection to the ocean as well, to seashells, to horns even. Show me what I need to see. Why is the Empress here? And show me now. Seven of Cups. Got a lot of sevens. I feel like don't sleep on yourself. Don't sleep on yourself. Don't think that what it is that you are doing is not worth it. Some of you guys feel like you can see things coming a mile away, and yet people will not listen. They're not listening. They're like, you can't help anyone. And it causes you just to want to go ahead and give in to sleep. Some of you guys even gluttony. Listen, I'm not judging. Again, sharing from my own personal experience. I have a thing with candy lately. I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is, but a gluttony can be eating a whole damn bag of candy in one sitting. And guess who's doing that? That would be me. Okay, so no judgment there. Whatever your thing is, just know that it's not healthy. And yes, we all need to work on our own biznatch, right? Okay, and that could be also like giving into emotions of like hopelessness or like, well, it doesn't matter what I say or what I think or what I feel, things like that, that keep us in a state of seeking comfort elsewhere, seeking comfort in food and drink and drugs and sex and rock and roll. I don't know your life, okay? Show me what I need to see. This is a Kipper. For pile number 2, those that chose the candelabra, nope, the chandelier. Chandelier, Griselle. Show me what I need to see for pile 2 and show me now. Distant horizon. Yeah, you're feeling like things are so far away, okay? That, sorry, I got overly excited and bumped this. Yeah. Anyways, distant horizons with the anchor right here. I feel like you could feel like things are really nebulous. I feel like even victory is so far away. I feel like there's a desire for you to travel, to go to different places, and explore. And yet it seems so far off. I'm getting at the bottom of the deck, the house. So maybe you want to travel or purchase a different home or go to someone's home in a far off place. And you have expectations. So, and it's right with a higher perspective. So I feel like maybe some of you guys are saying, you know, like almost like you know everything or you have that intuition, but you can't force people. You know, you can only share what it is that you see. And this expectation is almost like, I feel like an entitlement, like you feel like, well, because I see it, you know, you want people to listen to and do things your way. And we all have that, but really that's ego driven. Being able to share what it is that you see coming towards people or for people is definitely a gift, but sharing it with an open palm, with saying, okay, this is what I see, and allowing that to be that, and allowing people to be people, making their own choices is going to be the healthiest, not expecting people to take your advice. I feel like that's why the Sovereign card came up reverse, okay? So what you do have to say is important, because I see even her choker right here is around her neck, and I'm feeling like in this case, it's feeling like collared or stifled or choked. But part of that is trying to shove information down people's throats. It never worked. And as you all know, you don't like information being shoved down your throat. So it's really important to share information and check your ego and be okay with people taking it or not taking it, because that's what sharing is. But expecting or being feeling affronted or feeling upset or feeling mad because you weren't, quote, listened to, really just tells me that you are ego driven and focused on feeling and wanting to be obeyed is how it's coming across. That's not going to work. It's just not going to work for anybody. We're all individuals here. Yeah, so it's something to think about. So we're saying that's something to think about. You definitely have a lot of talents, beautiful talent, powerful talents, but you can't force feed people, okay? Just like you do not like to be force fed. So focus on yourself, and focus also like on the ego that's hampering you from really fulfilling your destiny, being able to share with people what it is that you see, your higher perspective, even your messages from spirit and things like that, and not shoving it down their throats. Just being open and saying, you know, this is what I see. You may have somebody thinking about you, or you may be thinking about a certain person, okay? And wealth. Sudden wealth, pardon me. So maybe, and this is number 11, so maybe you guys want to hit like a casino real quick, gamble responsibly. This is not endorsement, but maybe perhaps you live somewhere where you could just pop into a casino like Vegas or whatever, Reno, and you might even win a couple of dollars there. Just make sure that you are conscientious about gambling. It's definitely not my thing, but maybe you want to buy a scratcher or two and try your luck if it's affordable and if it's something that you resonate with, okay? So I'm not a big fan of gambling. I feel like I work too hard to throw my money away. And then bad health. Some of you guys could be not feeling well. Some of you guys need to see a doctor. Some of you guys are resting. I almost don't even see this person's legs. So this could be also that people are having like restless leg syndrome or having a problem with their legs, and they need to see a medical professional for that, right? In order to shed some light on what is going on. Let's see what's behind it. Okay, don't get freaked out on me. Coffin. So this could be that you are, or someone that you know has some health issues and you're not wanting to face it, but now you're going to lay it to rest because you're just going to go see the medical profession instead of just trying to deal with it, push through it. Or like for me, for example, I've been seeing a chiropractor, and I've had massive issues with my back and massive issues now with my leg. So this doesn't necessarily mean that anyone's going to die, although we're all going to die at some point, okay? But, and I'm looking at the candelabra that I kept kind of talking about earlier. So, you know, maybe there are things that need to be laid to rest. Maybe there needs to be like a visit to a medical professional in order to get a medical diagnosis so that you could lay all of the worries to rest, things like that, okay? Adjudication. Even this could be having bad health caused by stress over a judgment of sort, or things that are on your mind that are worrying you, because the word thoughts came here as well. You know, so maybe your mind is like running away with itself, and there's a need to reel it back in, gain a higher perspective, connect with your ancestors, and simplify things. For others of you that, yes, I would say that there would be a loss here, perhaps in your family or friend circle. So if that resonates with you, you know, remember, only take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else. If you like that kind of message, please do smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of it, and much love to you. Thank you so much. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Grisella Psychic MD. I'm here to do your reading pile number 3. If you chose this cool chair with the bird on it, then this reading is for you, okay? Pile number 3. I'm getting hydrate, 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 which was also the message I got for pile number 2. So let's see what is going on with you. Show me what I need to see for pile 3. For those that chose the chair, please. Pile number 3. Wow. Show me now. Okay. I want 3 cards for pile 3. And I got 2 jumpers. Movement and pillar. Okay. So I wanted you to be able to see the chair. Actually, I feel like this is how this goes. Apparently you're getting 4 cards. Pillar. These are the threads of fate. We've got the observer, the pillar, and movement. And we have revolutionary. Revolutionary. Interesting, you guys. I want to show the chair because that's what you chose. Pile number 3. Very interesting. So I feel like right now, maybe you are focused on current events, on what is going on with the world, on looking at everything that is solid. And I feel like maybe some of you guys have a desire for change, for a massive change, radical change. I don't feel like a lot of you guys are talking about it, but you may be, maybe, perhaps. The observer. I feel like you are somebody who is looking at all the threads, everybody who has a hand in. I heard the word puppeteering, take it however you will. I feel like you are somebody who is an observer, but also visionary, somebody who gets downloads from spirit, even a seer, okay? I feel like you could be a clairaudient as well, and claircognizant, just knowing. But with these threads right here, I definitely feel like you have the ability to see and foresee who's manipulating what, especially if you're looking at like world events. But even in general, I feel like that is just a natural gift that you have. Movement. I feel like you see movement. I feel like you see people shedding their skin, but also I feel like you see people taking off their masks or masks slipping, which means that you can see motives behind people and what they kind of show. their mask, what they say they're all about. I'm looking right here at the 2 snakes coming through these pillars and these kissing. I feel like also you could be somebody who sees, like, regardless of what is in front of you, and I'm not even trying to get political, but whatever pillars of society you see, currently I feel like they're supposed to be individual pillars, but you see that they are snakes in bed together. I feel like some of you guys are actually noticing that, and maybe with the crystal cluster right here, perhaps one just has more, I don't know, seems more attractive than the other, but it's marginal, and you're looking at all of these things kind of creep up. And I feel like it's almost like with the snakes being entangled, you know, there's nothing new under the sun. I'm hearing brood of vipers. I'm hearing, you know, here we go again. And I'm also feeling like Samson and Delilah vibe to it, but I feel like you feel like there needs to be a revolution, and that needs to be the new pillar, that something radically has to change. I feel like you're asking for or even praying or hoping for a revolution, a change, a radical change. And I heard waking up, and I feel like even sitting down with a chair, I feel like you could be seeing like officials sitting down on things when there's a, you know, obviously a bird here on top of this chair, and the bird is like, you know, now's not the time to sit, now's the time to fly, to kind of maneuver and to really, I feel like you're getting warnings is basically what I'm feeling, okay? So I know it's going to piss some people off, and if it does, well, sorry. It's what I'm getting. If you don't resonate with that, then choose another pile, or there are many, many different readers out here as well, okay? But that's what I'm getting so far. And this could be just going back to even your own life. This could be, you could see people in your own life manipulating. It could be family members, friends. You could see their motives, okay? That's part of being an observer. Also being the pillars, you could see that perhaps you're seeing like 2 parents that seem to be the pillar of society or pillars of your own world, and you know, they're obviously in bed together. But you could see that you know, they have like an agenda, or they're stoic and they want things in a certain way. But in that case, I feel like you would be looking at things that maybe are deceptive, having to make choices and options for yourself and following your own path. So this can mean, again, different things to different people. The revolutionary. Let's see. Show me what I need to see. Why are these cards here for pile number 3, please? Pile number 3. Show me what I need to see for pile number 3. And show me now. I want 3 cards. The star. Yeah. The star, I feel like this is confirmation. Just you have a divine dream, a desire that other people maybe don't relate to, understand, or they can't quite see. The fact that she is naked here, and you know, pouring some water into cracked earth. I feel like you could see what nourishes or what needs to happen or what needs to transpire. And I feel like your motives are definitely something that you want things to be natural. You want to quench the thirst of maybe the masses, of many. You want people to really understand and feel refreshed by a revolution of things that are just radically different than the status quo and the crusty bread that we've been served on a platter that just appears to be aged out and done with. For some of you guys, you're looking at everything currently and seeing that both right wing and left wing are simply wings of the same bird, which goes back to this, okay? Show me what I need to see for pile 3 and show me now. This came up in pile 2, I believe. So yeah, this is the Empress. This is what seeing maybe even people that have plenty, or their ability to self-regulate, self-rule and things like that, that I feel like you're feeling kind of dismal, maybe like your hope is waning, and maybe that's what you're observing, is that the forecast for the future is not good. Judgment, yeah, look, that's what I'm feeling, and I'm feeling with this conch kind of thing. I feel like you're receiving messages, but also I feel like you're somebody who could be sounding the alert and saying, look, right wing, left wing, it's all the same damn bird. It doesn't make a difference. Pretty much you could be even saying with these right here, this is what's being burned, and this is what needs to end and what's dying, but pretty much everything is leading up to the same thing. And with the fire in the back, it's like, look, all of these state of emergencies and things that are going on currently need to really be focused upon and dealt with accordingly. You know, the fact that like all of a sudden we have all these world leaders singing Kumbaya over a virus or whatever the case may be is really suspicious, don't you think? You would think that they would keep that information to themselves and be like, oh, only we're going to do the 6 feet apart. Only we're going to do because we know that that's how it's transmitted. Only we're going to hunker down and we're going to let the rest of the world implode. And then we can kind of, you know, take over the world and things. But all of a sudden, all these people are coming together, holding hands, cuddling. I mean, come on now. So I know if that makes you angry, then I'm sorry, but somebody's got to say it. Okay. Yeah, and some people could be even turning their head at those comments and clicking off and unsubscribing. You do you. Whatever you got to do. Show me what I need to see here for pile 3, please. The fact that people are breathing death into the world is not a new concept. And when you think about strategy, foundations and pillars, and rulership, and, you know, world leaders and things like that, I mean, they all want to conquer each other, right? It's all of a sudden for them to be in bed together, agreeing with the monetary system, or agreeing with how things should be done, or agreeing with people's health when they've never given a damn to begin with, is actually quite shocking that we would swallow that. I even think about a, you know, specific place where, you know, they say, watch us win the war without even firing one shot. And how do you do that? It's all about strategy. It's all about having your fingers in all the pies. It's all about pulling different strings. It's all about illusion, mastery, manipulation of the mind. And how is that achieved? How's that achieved? It's by control. It's by leaving people destitute that once upon a time had a lot. How many businesses and lives have been destroyed thus far? I don't know. And again, I didn't mean to get political, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm seeing. I'm reading what I see. Show me what I need to see. Some of you guys could be done with this whole mess and even speaking your truth. Yeah. 6 of Pentacles. Now, and this is like giving to many. This is sharing your wisdom. Maybe this is saying that you are only sharing with a certain amount of people. And there's a need for caution. And look at all the debris on top of the coins. They're no longer polished at all. So it could be that, you know, self-preservation is kicking in. That maybe you are someone who's saying, okay, well, we need to do some homesteading or gain some skills or understand some knowledge. Because things are not what they seem. And even some of you guys can be considered like conspiracy theorists. Well, who coined that? That was the government, by the way. You're welcome. And looking at what they have their fingers into, like if they have, you know, all the releases that they've done lately, in the US anyways, talking about astral projection and energetic fields and things like that. And why do you think that they would invest any money in that if there was no merit to it? And yet they're busy pointing fingers at everybody when they have these other programs that they have paid for years and years and years of remote viewing and everything like that. So, you know, it's very dualistic, very hypocritical. It's like not allowing one hand to see what the other hand's doing on account of national security. But all of a sudden, yeah, King of Wands, who decides what is national security? And is it really for national security or your own pocketbook that needs to be secured and your own reasons for doing things? I don't know. Movement. So I'm feeling like you are wanting to see movement. The King and the Knight of Wands right here. So this is like battle. This is about strategy. This is about mover and a shaker wanting to see things in a certain way and willing to do whatever it takes to get it done. And again, pouring things out. So the Temperance, I feel like there is a need for balance. She's got red wings. That to me is a nod to the root chakra. And the root chakra is about your stability, how you sustain yourself, how you take care of your family, how you take care of friends. I feel like even right here, if you look closely, there's like a clock on her forehead where her third eye, close to where the third eye would be. And I feel like you're thinking, well, it's a matter of time before people start waking up because, you know, you're observing everything and allowing for the possibility. Even if you're not buying into this narrative, you're like, what if? And I'm a great what ifer. Okay, that's not even a word. You're welcome. But I feel like I leave things open to possibility because when you shut your brain down to something that's unthinkable, then guess what? The unthinkable happened. Think of like, you know, Germany and mass genocide and things like that. So that was quite unthinkable. And yet it happened. So right here, I'm getting major like Excalibur vibes. I feel like maybe you do have the power to pull out the sword from the earth, from the rock. And even though that sword, that clarity has been crystallized over and it's been sitting there and nobody wants to grab it, grasp it. Maybe you're the only person in your family or in your group of circle who thinks like this. And even these jagged edges could be like, yeah, you know, things are really stormy and you're willing to see things for what they are. Maybe you've had brain fog or not sure of how to bring about clarity or how to help people to see what it is that you're seeing or even like entertain the possibility. So yeah, with the sword being plunged into it, I feel like you might have a lot of resistance to even speaking truth or being on the quest for truth, or even how do I bring this about, the truth to light and things like that. Yeah, the King of Swords. So there's a lot of thought process. You could be spending a lot of time thinking about things. Sun gazing is going to maybe perhaps be helpful, but I feel like you are armed to the hilt. Might even be defensive with all these swords and daggers. The tip is missing, and this is like kind of a, it's almost like at your throat, where you realize that that can even, you can cut your own throat. Perhaps you're worried about your business, if you're speaking your truth and things like that, or your own livelihood or your own life, which, you know, people have been unalive for these things. Think about all of the people when this initially started. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying not to get flagged, but, you know, probably will happen anyways. But when this first started happening and people started speaking out, like doctors, you know, came together and they're like, no, that is not the case. And they start speaking out and being vocal. All of a sudden, they decided to unalive themselves by jumping out of windows, like many of them jumping out of windows, which is coincidentally appears to me the same MO as some people way back in the day that were jumping out of windows, that were served LSD and other experimental things. If you don't know, then you don't know. But yeah, with you know, the government, the CIA, and all of that, conducting their own experiment on their own people without their permission. So it's just kind of interesting that the same fate was met by all. But anyways, I digress. Show me what I need to see here. Where are these cards here? I had no idea we were going to go here, but I'm like, you know what? There's not a lot of people on my channel. Anyways, we're just doing this. We're just doing this. Pile number 3. I feel like there's even more people that are supporting you than they let on. I feel like you do have actually silent supporters. I feel like there is a need for balance, for temperance for you. And it's not unwarranted that you should feel like, you know, this battle is like massive because of mind control, because of media, because of propaganda and things like that. But also because people have made commitments, committed their body to experimental things that they can no longer take back. They cannot retract. They cannot undo. And if they were willing for a moment to open up their minds that maybe this wasn't healthy for them, maybe it wasn't good for them to entertain that, because there's a form of self-protectiveness there, right? That, you know, what implications does that have towards them as well? And so I feel like it's a battle on many different fronts. And I'm looking at these 2 snake things right here. And if you've been at all kind of like looking and investigating just different things, okay, it could be you're not even interested in this, but you've heard about the embalmers banding together and talking about all the weird, the quote weird threads that they're finding in people's bodies, and things that are supposed to be like blood clots that are not even they're inorganic basically, but these long worm things or whatever that are like, you know, overtaking everything, even imitates these strings and these threads of fate that this has on here. So maybe it's like you consider your audience, maybe you think about who you're speaking to, simply because these people have like succumbed to peer pressure or the narrative of, you know, I'm doing this for my health. And so it could be friends and family and coworkers and things like that who really do buy the narrative, and they don't allow their mind to even open to the possibility that they were duped, that they're massive people under regret right now. Also, I'm just going to say, because we're in this deep, and if y'all hate me, y'all hate me. But I feel like also, you know, when you enter something into your system, into your body that's inorganic, well, then now, you know, there's that possibility of transhumanism. If you don't think it's a thing, think again, do some research on it. So I feel like all of this could have just incredible implications. And what is this card down here? If you're still with me, I thank you. You don't have to agree. I totally get that. I'm just reading what I see here. But, you know, even setting a fire of revolution, this is like putting a fire under people's butts. And you know, helping them to see things or consider things that they maybe would not have thought. Yeah, I feel like this is, you know, I heard putting the last nail in the coffin. So this can mean like even people severing ties with you because you believe this way. And I feel that. I've had people turn incredibly cold because this is what I think, or because they received the clot shot, or because they got really, really sick. And they don't understand that I'm not saying that, you know, this illness isn't out there, but we did miraculously kill the cold and the flu. We cured those two things, and then now emerged this one new thing that we've never even heard of. But, you know, tell me why the labs are creating things currently right now that are even at a higher rate of lethality. That's not even a word. Even more lethal than before. Why are labs over here creating things like that instead of trying to find cures? And, you know, all this stuff is like patented anyways. And it's just like everybody is in bed with each other. And I feel like that's on the top of your mind. Also on the top of your mind is a lot of, you know, fatality, people dying and things like that, but not because of what we're afraid of and what we're told to fear in the media. Because once again, if it was like a real scenario, then why don't these world powers hoard that information and not share it with everybody else? Because then they could off the rest of us and just take over the world, right? It's just interesting to me. But I feel like on the top of your mind, you have a lot of wisdom, a lot of emotion about this, and a lot of care. And people knee-jerk react. You could have been somebody who has lost friendships, relationships, family members, and things like that. Okay, the main male, you could have lost lovers because of their potential lovers, or people who just think, well, you're just kind of crazy. And you know, to that I would just say I'm just loyal to the foil. I mean, what the hell at this point, right? So we've got the number 15. The number 1 is echoing right here. So you could have the attention of someone like a male, yeah, with illuminating mindset. Maybe this person is kind of thinking, thinking. And it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But this person cannot be coming forward and saying much of anything. And then great fortune. So I feel like you are thinking, well, you know, who stands to make all the money out of all the scenario? And of course, you know, embalmers and people that sell caskets have a dime to make on that as well. But most of all, it's people that are not us, people that are dictating and pushing agendas that are going to be quite costly. I do feel like you have people around you that are gossiping. I know that there are people around me that are gossiping as well. And, you know, I don't have to hear it. I am a psychic. I could feel it. I hear it and I see it as well. Not from people, but, you know, who cares? Anyways, so I feel like you are all about wanting to take care of what it is that you love. I feel like you love nature, you love people, your, you know, friends, your family, and things like that. But people could be thinking that you're off your rocker. I'm hearing that some people think that you're even schizophrenic, or that they think that you have mental illness, or that you've gone too far, and they have, you know, no idea, but they don't want to stop and even consider or even research. Now, you could have even friends and family that you're like, okay, well, here's my proof. Why don't you look at this? And I remember doing that, sending some information over, and one of my coworkers, she's like, oh, that person, oh yeah, that person, all my friends laugh at that person. And she never even once looked at the video that I sent, which cracks me up, because it's like, oh, okay, so all your friends like fall off a ridge, you want to fall off too. All your friends think that, you know, the grass is greener over there, so you think it's greener too. So everybody thinks you have to have a house and a picket fence. You do too. You know, everybody has to wear Jimmy shoes. Okay, let's follow the leader. Obviously, that person is not a leader. Courthouse. So yeah, this could be about judgment, about what is going on right now in the world, about, yeah, laws and things being passed down. I even think about the powdered wig and the whole fanfare and things like that. And it's like, what are the current mandates, you know? And it's like, at some point, when are people going to stand up and say, who gives a bleep? Okay. There's a lot of false people around you that are secretly laughing behind your back. And, you know, don't take it personally. I feel it too. And who cares? Once again, it doesn't make a difference. But look at that with the 8, they're caught in cycles. This person is a false person too. There could be 2 people in specific, like looking directly at you and not saying anything. It's like, hey, I watch you, or I listen to what you have to say, and I'm laughing behind your back. And this other person is kind of lurking, just always kind of checking you out. But it's like, why are you a fan then? But, you know, that's cool. Maybe they'll kind of wake up. This could be somebody at work. This could be somebody that you work with. Maybe your employer, things like that. High honor and adjudication. So I feel like maybe even a lot of people do hold you in high honor, but they're puzzled by all of this. And they're like, well, what is this all coming from? Like, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit, doesn't mesh. Something's wrong. But I feel like you've objectively looked at everything and done a lot of research by yourself. And then you're wondering who exactly is making those judgments and what is beneficial. And why do you care? Because it involves community, your community. It involves toil and labor. It involves people's jobs, people's livelihoods. It involves the big picture. That is why you are the great observer. That is why you even toil late into the night thinking about things. I do feel like you get downloads and whatnot about this specific thing. And I think it's very lonesome. This thing that we're talking about right now is not something that is, you know, for your average Joe. It is no small feat to pick up. So you are definitely on a path, a solo path, perhaps a path of a crusade of sorts, of trying to really alert people, of trying to even find peace within yourself, to allow people to make their own choices, which we all have to. But it's also informed consent. Isn't that a thing? I mean, they push that when it comes to SEX, right? So informed consent should be about everything. And I feel like you're seeing a lot of hidden agendas, but I do feel like people are waking up. Unexpected income. I feel like this somehow, some way is going to wind up paying off for you. Of you being viewed and being favored and being revered as somebody who, yeah, who is worth their salt. Oh my gosh, look, didn't we talk about the official person, wealthy man? This could wind up making you money some way, somehow. But most importantly, I feel like you're held in high honor, and people are going to start clicking all the little Lego pieces together and seeing that it still makes sense. People think that this is disjointed, that it doesn't make sense. So I think that people are going to start seeing even where the money is going, where one hand strokes the other, where if you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And I think that a lot more is being revealed, especially about false people. And this could be on a grand scheme of, you know, politicians and world leaders and things like that. But also, I feel like in the end, you are going to go back to being regarded as somebody is official, high honor, and somebody to be really trusted. So, okay, recap. Sorry, pile 3, this is like really elaborate, and believe me, I don't want to get into this, but here we are. I feel like you're starting off with high honor. You have an incredible, solid, stoic reputation. People really believe in you. But then when they see this side of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, your downloads, what you're observing, and your perception, they get scared. And then they start projecting, well, maybe they're schizophrenic, maybe they're off the medication, maybe they need, you know, making everything about like, let me be a naysayer so that I don't have to entertain those possibilities. And I feel like with time and all the cogs working together, people are going to start seeing the reality for what it really is. And I feel like people are going to start looking at you like, whoa, like you knew that whole time. And we don't care about that, pile number 3. That is not even what it's about. But I feel like regardless, you're going to gain like high honor and high respect. I feel like even your ancestors are really honoring and respecting you right now. But I feel like you could even be like an official person, even publicly. Maybe you'll run for senator, something like that. I don't know. But even just official, like the official go-to person. that people trust even in this subject matter. Pardon me. This was really deep and once again way beyond my desire to read, okay? But I'm doing it because I feel like that's my duty, Spirit says, and I'm just repeating and showing you what Spirit has to say. So if this resonated with you, please do smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Drink a lot of water, please, and know that no, you are not crazy. I'm feeling like headache. You could be having a lot of headaches at this point in time. If you're getting like any pressure on your head, that's just confirmation. Make sure to sage yourself even after this reading. That could be really helpful to gain clarity. I'm wishing you a lot of peace, a lot of support, a lot of love, and know that you're definitely not alone. Okay, pile number 3. And with that, I'll leave you. Namaste.